The second album curse is a term used to describe the difficulties that many artists encounter when releasing their second album. It is also known as the sophomore slump. This curse is characterized by the lack of commercial success and negative reviews when releasing the sophomore album. Artists often have their entire lives to write their first album, but only a few months to write their second. In this video, we'll take a look at 10 artists that not only avoided this curse, but broke down barriers and released their defining album on their sophomore release. Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa's self-titled album was a huge success, now sitting on 10.6 billion streams on Spotify. After that, she released her era-defining sophomore album Future Nostalgia on March 27, 2020. The album has 11 tracks and is 37 minutes of pure pop perfection. It has the sound of the 70s and 80s disco era with a modern twist. It debuted on number 4 on the Billboard 200 with 66,000 album equivalent units in its first week, and by the end of 2020, it has sold close to 1 million records. It won the award for the Best Pop Album at the 2021 Grammy Awards. It is one of the most critically acclaimed albums of the 2020s, with a score of 88 out of 100 on Metacritic. Justin's debut album Justified was successful in separating his image from his NSYNC days and jump-started his career as a solo artist. He further cemented his status as a pop icon with his second album, Future 6 Love Sounds. It was a game-changer for the pop music industry, as it showcased JT's versatility as an artist and established him as a leading force in the genre. The album debuted at the top of the Billboard 200, selling more than 684,000 copies in its first week. The album has been certified 4 times platinum by the RIAA. Drake. When it was time to release his second album, Drake was coming off his disappointing debut album Thank Me Later. After releasing that album, fans were clamoring for him to get back to the sound they fell in love with his breakthrough mixtape So Far Gone. Drake released his sophomore album Take Care on November 15, 2011. This is the album where he established the Drake sound. It is when he went from a pretty good rapper to one of the best. The album was an instant success, debuting on number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 631,000 copies in its first week. It has stood the test of time, as it has spent more than 500 weeks on the chart. If you have never heard a Drake album, start with this one. Katy Perry. When it was time to release her sophomore album, Katy was coming off her breakthrough debut, One of the Boys. She took her career to another level when she released Teenage Dream on August 24, 2010. It is a time-defining album, which sold over 192,000 copies in its first week, debuting on number 1 on the Billboard 200. Katy made history when she scored 5 Billboard Hot 100 number 1 singles from Teenage Dream, making her the second artist in the chart's 53-year history to amass 5 number 1 singles from one album. The album's infectious energy, relatable lyrics, and memorable visuals have left a mark on pop culture. It has now been certified 9 times platinum by the RIAA. The Weeknd. When it was time to release his sophomore album, The Weeknd was planning to improve on his disappointing debut album Kissland. The resulting album was Beauty Behind the Madness, which was released on August 28, 2015. It still had that dark R&B sound that got him recognized, but he also perfected the timeless pop sound that he would be known for going forward. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 412,000 album equivalent units in its first week. The album spawned timeless classic hits like Can't Feel My Face in the Hills. Madonna. When it came time to release her second album, Madonna was coming off her debut self-titled album, which has sold over 5 million records worldwide. She then dropped Like a Virgin on November 12, 1984. It immediately became a commercial success, and within 14 weeks of its release, it reached 3.5 million copies sold. It has now been certified diamond by the RIAA. Like a Virgin marked a significant turning point in Madonna's career. as it solidified her status as a pop culture icon and made her a household name. Bad Bunny. After he released his debut album Por Siempre, Bad Bunny was plotting to take over the globe. To accomplish this mission, he released his 20-track album Yo Hago Lo Que Me De La Gana, which translates to I Do Whatever I Want. The album debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200, becoming the highest charting all-Spanish album ever on the chart at the time. It was commercially successful and critically acclaimed with a score of 88 out of 100 on Metacritic. It has now been certified 24 times platinum, according to the RIAA. Kendrick Lamar. After the release of his critically acclaimed album Section 80, Kendrick was ready to release his most ambitious album yet. That album was Good Kid, Mad City, released on October 22, 2012. It was executively produced by Dr. Dre and was set like a movie with a complete story from start to finish. It's a creative masterpiece that tells the story of Kendrick Lamar's upbringing in Compton. It debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 242,000 copies in its first week. The album is a critic's favorite, with a score of 91 out of 100 on Metacritic. It has now spent more than 540 weeks on the Billboard 200 albums chart, and is always in the top 10 best-selling vinyls of each year. Adele. Adele released her earth-shattering second album 21 3 whole years after the release of her debut album 19, on January 24, 2011. 21 is a journey through heartbreak and sadness, but ultimately it's an album about healing and closure. On the charts, it's the album with the most weeks at number 1 since 2000 on the Billboard 200, spending 24 weeks at number 1. It is also the best-selling album of the 2010s, with more than 30 million copies sold worldwide. 19 showed that Adele had the potential to do big things, but 21 turned her into a global megastar. Taylor Swift. As far as debut albums go, Taylor's self-titled album was a tough act to follow, as it sold over 5 million copies worldwide, as she hit it out the park with her second album Fearless, which she dropped in 2008 before turning 19 years old. It spent 11 non-consecutive weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 3.2 million copies in the US throughout 2009. At the 2010 Grammy Awards, it won Album of the Year, and it has been certified Diamond by the RIAA. Fearless is a timeless classic that has aged beautifully. The second album curse is a real phenomenon that has affected many artists over the years. The second album is often seen as a make-or-break moment in an artist's career. The ones that face the challenge and come out the fire with their heads held high are sure to become icons in the music industry.